Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native Echo Podcast, where we make English simple and enjoyable. I'm Harper.
And I'm Julian. Hello to all of our wonderful listeners, wherever you are in the world right now.
Harper, before we start today, can I ask you something a little personal?
Always, go ahead.
Have you ever sent a message to the wrong person?
Oh no, is this going somewhere bad?
It happened to me last week. I was talking to a friend about another friend, a different friend, and I was complaining just a little, nothing terrible, but I was complaining, and I sent the message to the wrong person, to the person I was complaining about.
No.
Yes, the message said something like, "She is always late, it drives me crazy," and I sent it directly to her.
What did you do?
I panicked. I called her immediately and said, "I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send it to someone else."
And what did she say?
She laughed. She actually laughed and said, "I know, I am always late. You are not wrong." And then she said, "See you in 20 minutes." And she was late. Again.
That is a perfect story. And also, I didn't mean to send that is exactly one of our patterns today.
It is. And that moment made me think about how often we say things like this in real life. "I didn't mean to do that," or "I plan to fix this." These little phrases come up everywhere.
They really do, and they sound so simple, but English learners often avoid them or use them incorrectly. So today we are going to really break them down, naturally, slowly, with lots of examples.
Episode 2 of our 1000 plus patterns series. 2 patterns: I plan to and I didn't mean to.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with I plan to. And Harper, I want to start with a question. What do you actually plan to do this year?
Oh, that is a big question. Okay, I plan to read more books. I plan to travel somewhere I have never been before. And I plan to finally stop hitting snooze every single morning.
How is that last one going?
Not well, but I still plan to do it. The plan is still alive.
Okay, so listeners, did you notice something? Harper used I plan to 3 times in a row, and it sounded completely natural. Not forced, not robotic, just natural.
And that is because I plan to is one of those phrases that fits into almost any conversation, any topic: work, travel, habits, relationships, health, anything.
So let's talk about what I plan to actually means. When we say I plan to do something, we are talking about an intention. Intention means something you want to do, something you have decided to try.
It's stronger than I want to. When I say I want to travel, that's just a wish, a dream maybe. But when I say I plan to travel, there's a decision behind it, a direction.
Exactly. I want to is a wish. I plan to is a step. It's not done yet, but there is a real intention there.
And this is actually really important for English learners because sometimes in conversation, people will ask you about your future. What are you going to do? What are your goals? And I plan to is such a natural, confident way to answer.
Let's look at some simple examples first. I plan to start a new hobby next month. I plan to call my parents this evening. I plan to study English for 30 minutes every day.
See how each one of those has a clear action after it? I plan to, and then the verb, the base verb, not I plan to starting, not I plan to studied, just the clean, simple verb. I plan to start, I plan to call, I plan to study.
That is a really good point. The structure is always I plan to plus the base form of the verb. No ing, no past tense, just the clean verb. I plan to start, I plan to call.
And listeners, this is actually one of the most common mistakes. People say, I plan to studying, or I plan to going, and it sounds wrong to a native speaker. It is I plan to study, I plan to go. Keep it clean.
Okay, now let's make it more interesting because I plan to is also really useful when you're explaining yourself, when someone asks you about something and you want to sound organized and thoughtful.
Like if someone says, hey, have you fixed that problem yet? And you say, no, not yet, but I plan to take care of it by Friday. That sounds calm, professional, confident.
Yes, it tells the other person, I have not done it, but I know what I'm doing. There's a plan. You can trust me.
I really think this is why I plan to sounds more mature than I will or I want to, because it suggests you've actually thought about it.
Compare these two. I will clean the apartment versus I plan to clean the apartment this weekend. Which one sounds more organized?
Definitely the second one, because it has a time frame, this weekend. It sounds like there's a real intention behind it.
And sometimes we use I plan to when we are making promises to ourselves, not to other people, to ourselves.
Oh, I love this one. Like, I plan to stop drinking so much coffee. I plan to exercise 3 times a week. I plan to get to bed before midnight.
Those are all plans that most of us have made many times and maybe not always kept.
Definitely. But the beautiful thing about I plan to is that even if you tried before and it didn't work, you can say it again. I plan to try again. And there's no shame in that. Plans change. Life happens.
Right. I planned to wake up at 6 this morning. That plan did not survive.
What happened?
My alarm went off at 6, I turned it off, I told myself 5 more minutes, and then I opened my eyes and it was 8:15.
And let me guess, you lay there for a moment thinking, I didn't mean to sleep that long.
Exactly, which is actually our second pattern today.
I didn't mean to. Perfect transition.
Okay, I didn't mean to. Let's really sit with this one because I think it's one of the most human, most emotional patterns in English.
I didn't mean to means that something happened, but it was not your intention. You did not want it to happen that way. It was an accident, a mistake, a misunderstanding.
And the reason I think this phrase is so important is because English learners sometimes struggle to explain accidents or apologize naturally. They say things like, it was accident, or I not want to do this. And while people understand, it doesn't sound natural.
I didn't mean to is the natural, native way to say it, and it works in so many situations. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to be so loud. I didn't mean to take so long.
Each one of those is an apology in disguise. When you say, I didn't mean to, you're telling the other person, I know something went wrong, but my heart was not behind it. It was not on purpose.
On purpose is a really useful phrase here. On purpose means you did something with intention, deliberately, the opposite of an accident. So when you say, I didn't mean to, you're saying, I did not do this on purpose.
And this is actually really powerful in relationships, friendships, family, work situations, because sometimes people get upset or hurt and they think you did it deliberately. And you can say, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. It was not intentional.
Intentional, that word means done on purpose, with a clear decision behind it. So when something is not intentional, it was an accident.
Okay, let me share another story because I have many of these. Last month, I was in a meeting at work and I interrupted someone while they were talking. I just jumped in before they finished their sentence.
Did you notice while you were doing it?
A little bit, yes. And afterwards, I went to them and said, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just got excited about the idea.
To cut someone off means to interrupt them, to stop them mid-sentence before they finish what they're saying. And cutting someone off is considered rude in most English-speaking cultures, so saying, I didn't mean to cut you off, is a really important social phrase to know.
Absolutely. And the other person's reaction in that situation when they hear, I didn't mean to, is usually very forgiving because you're showing self-awareness. Self-awareness means you understand your own actions and how they affect others.
When you show self-awareness, people soften. They're more likely to say, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine, because they can see that you're being genuine.
Genuine means real and honest, not fake or performed. His apology felt genuine.
Okay, Julian, give me a tough one. A situation where I didn't mean to is hard to use.
Okay. What about this? Your friend finds out that you told another friend something they told you in confidence. In confidence means they trusted you with private information and expected you to keep it secret, and you accidentally told someone else.
Oh, that is a painful situation. And yes, I think I didn't mean to tell anyone, it just came up in conversation. That could work. But you'd also need to add more, right? You would need to actually show that you understand why it hurt.
Exactly. I didn't mean to is a starting point. It opens the door, but you still need to walk through it. You still need to listen, to acknowledge the other person's feelings. To acknowledge something means to recognize it, to say, yes, I see this, I hear this, I accept this is real.
She acknowledged that her words had been hurtful. So in a situation like that, you might say, I didn't mean to share that. I know you told me in confidence. I understand why you're upset, and I'm really sorry. You're using I didn't mean to, but you're not hiding behind it.
And that's an important distinction. Some people use I didn't mean to as a way to escape responsibility, like, well, I didn't mean to, so it's fine. But that's not how it should work.
Right. I didn't mean to does not cancel the impact. The impact is real. The other person's feelings are real. What I didn't mean to does is explain the intention or the lack of intention, but you still need to take responsibility.
This is actually a really sophisticated